Hey, what's up? Hello. You are listening to the best podcast that stands for BloodShot, Eyes, and Sore Thumbs. How are we doing today, guys?
Not so bad. Not so bad.
By guys, I mean old Crow is here again with us, Mr. Brent.
Hey, how's it going?
And as always, Scott, a.k.a. the Eagle.
Hey. Sticking with the birds theme, I guess.
Yeah,
Mr.
Might as
Paris
well.
Jacob.
I don't know. I'll go with it for now.
I don't mind it.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll find some other rad predators here for the next show. Maybe we'll go to the feline family. Be some wildcats.
Crow's not so much of a
Whoa.
Get out of the house, you cougar.
You darn cougar. Steve French. Okay. This week we were up early at the crack of 9 to watch, of course, Scorpio rise over the horizon. We hear news is provided to us by the interwebs, and we're here to talk about this exciting new development from Microsoft. Have a little heart-to-heart on the findings. This week I cracked open Uncharted 4. Anything new for y'all?
And just been keeping up on the old Mass Effect kick, playing some Overwatch. Just got real sidetracked before we started. It looks like they leaked the trailer, so for a new event coming potentially soon. So that's got me super hyped.
It's true. He lost his mind, and it was like right before we started up here.
Yeah, so I'm bad. I'm sorry.
Some breaking news. No, it's all good. And last week we had some technical difficulties with our after party, our best nights spoiler party that we're gonna start happening at the end of every show, where it's no holds barred as far as spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoiler
so
alert.
stick around today for some Mass Effect. I want to talk just a couple side stories that happened to me over the week. I don't want to spoil too much of the main story. I know people want to play that, but some crazy stuff went down. So be sure to stick around for that.
For sure. And again, that's why we separate that up, because we are just dying to chat about it, but we don't want to spoil anything for anyone.
True.
What about you, Brand? Anything for you this week?
Not much to the mass audience listening that are just huge Realm Grinder fans, because I know they're just in droves out there. I hit R70.
What?
For also all of you that understand what that means, I can now put an extra research point in. So my builds are super OP right now, and yeah, just grinding away.
You're speaking in code.
Hey, wake up! I'm sorry, it's over. You can keep listening.
Hey, that Realm Grinder demographic out there is on the edge of their seat.
Oh my, yeah, their palms are sweating. They're like looking at each other. Can you believe he's saying this stuff? Yeah.
Well, by R you mean reincarnation. You're pretty far along in this game here.
I'm coming on a year.
Man.
And also, my voice is gone. There was a lot of yelling this weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly up at the old ketchup bottling plant, or what is it?
The flour sifting factory. We sift a lot of flour.
At the old platinum mine.
What century is it? Guys work at a ketchup bottling factory and a flour sifting warehouse? Okay. What is this?
How about some news? Woo!
Hey.
Scorpio, we're going to get to a little bit later. We have I saw on the PlayStation dashboard, the free games for PS Plus members started up again this month. They switched over to, I played this last month with the Xbox Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time. You played this one, didn't you, Scott?
Yeah, I sure did. I played that with my girlfriend for a little bit, a few levels of it.
Did you take to it? I haven't gotten in there just yet.
Not really. It's got this real kind of like hectic attitude to it. You know, like you're overloaded with things you have to do, running around the ship, manning different stations, which can be fun, but it teeters on like a little bit of a stressful vibe, which, my girlfriend and I style of play, like a little more chill,
Yeah. Is it like a strategy type thing, almost like a puzzle?
No, it's more of like a bullet hell. thing, but like your ship, for instance, has like different stations around it. So like top left is a gun and bottom right is a shield. So you need to choose, which one you're manning at any given time. And it is like couch co-op, like 2 players on the same screen. So, one character should be doing this while the other's doing that. So you end up like yelling at each other, and it's fun, but it depends on what kind of game you're looking for.
Yeah. The other one is Drawn to Death. And have you guys seen this one before? Anything on it? It's pretty neat. It's a third-person shooter. Basically with, like, when you're in school and you're scribbling on the sides of your notebooks. It's it looks like. Did y'all ever watch Adult Swim? Oh man, I don't want to get too sidetracked. Not remember the name. The Eric Awesome Show. Great job. Wait, no, that's
Tim
a
and
different
Eric.
show. Yeah, something for Mayor. Okay, I'm gonna stop there for everybody screaming at me. But it was a show that was animated entirely as if this film was outlined with ballpoint pen.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, it's a little abstract, but it's a team-based shooter. Y'all run. It's kind of hard to pigeonhole. Like it's hard to explain. If you're a PS Plus member, check it out for a little.
Well, it's like what is it? It's like a multiplayer game, right? Like 5-on-5 type of.
Yeah, I watched
I
like
saw
20 minutes of gameplay with like a dev talking about it, and it seems like when I was watching it seemed like really chaotic and kind of hard to follow, just because of the art style. You know what I mean? There's like things going on everywhere, and like some of the powers you have in it, like make massive drawings, like scatter across the screen and stuff. It looked pretty fun but chaotic.
Yeah, I only saw a couple. They have a kill confirm type match, which I think is a pretty neat type of game type. And it's other than that, you got yourself like Twisted Metal. Everybody just have at it. Like everybody's unique. They have their own differences. And
yeah, it's pretty tight.
Yeah, PS Plus. Any word with the games with gold?
On the Xbox side of things, there's I think they just added the Xbox 360 like backwards compatible version of Darksiders.
Yep.
Which that's a good one for sure. If you haven't checked that out,
guilty pleasure. It was fun to roll through.
But a little kind of footnote on that. I think they just released the remaster on Xbox One, right?
Of Darksiders?
Take a look.
Yeah.
Let's check her out.
So I would hate to have like purchased that and like right behind it the backwards compatible version. Now, granted, it's not remastered or the love that the Xbox One version got, but it's still cool. It's still free, so that works.
Apparently, it's supposed to be coming to the Wii U too, which is kind of a strange title to see over there.
Strange for anything to be coming to the Wii U. But
touche.
The other games with gold, you have Evolve, which has been running since last month. And
man, I used to love that game.
Yep, that's excellent. Definitely check that out. It's the Ultimate Edition. And then also just added on the first was Rise, Son of Rome, which
the first.
Kind of mixed results, but it is a great game. It's fun to play, and anything's good for free.
Yeah.
First time I had ever seen somebody have to wait like 3 or 4 hours to play a game with a game disc. Like, it had to download from the game disc on that first Xbox One.
Huh.
Yeah.
Unless I'm horribly mistaken. But it took forever.
I remember that. Happening to me with Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Xbox 360. Get home, tried to play it, and it said it had to install this huge chunk to the hard drive.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
You just
I don't want to do this.
Just sitting elbow propped against the window, just chain smoking dirty cigarettes.
Yes, staring out the window, just dead in the eyes.
Just tracing outlines of like a cartoonish broken heart.
Remembering
a window pane.
better time with cartridges
and then wipe it away dramatically.
Anyway,
so I digress. So those are the free games for the PS Plus and Xbox One, I find it kind of hard to get to them because of the major titles. They're worse problems to have, but I have 4 games that I need to play through, complete, and be able to share my opinions on this show. Not that I'm not excited, but I feel like the content for the next few weeks is pretty much booked as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and you kind of started a new game recently, isn't that correct?
Yeah, I hopped into Uncharted 4. I know I'm late to the party, but I always am late to the party. It doesn't matter. It's a little, I had Uncharted 3 for the PS3, did not enjoy it at all, because I played some of Uncharted 2 forever ago, and it just seemed like a completely different thing. Uncharted 3 played like a shooter. It was, I don't know. But coming to Uncharted 4 so late, this is after I played the Tomb Raider games. If y'all, we've probably talked about it before on the show, definitely off the show. But y'all are familiar with the modern Tomb Raiders. I don't know if you've played them though, Brent. Have you?
Yeah, I played a couple hours of the last one that just came out.
Rise
So
of the Tomb
much
Raider?
fun.
Like 2 years ago. Rise? Is that what it is?
Rise.
Yeah.
I played those first before coming to this. I realized Uncharted 4 came out, or the Uncharted series, was out before these games. But I love it because it's just like it. And the PS4, man, it is beautiful. It is beautiful as I'm going through this stuff.
It's real cinematic, right? Just kind of a lot of
totally.
cutscenes
And that's a big difference too, or that makes a difference between the series, because Tomb Raider, there you had your cutscenes and it was awesome, but it's like they gave you a chain of mini sandboxes to play in, and then you get everything you get, and move on to the next area where Uncharted's showing you something. They're taking you through it, and
kind of a little more focused, less open.
Yeah, focus is a good one. But it's great, and it's Naughty Dog, and we all have our opinions on that stuff. I love them. This game makes me so excited for The Last of Us 2. Have y'all ever heard of Last of Us? Any playtime with it at all?
No, I never played it, but I've watched people play a pretty good amount of it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm definitely familiar with it.
It is beloved. It is beloved, and it's no surprise that I love it too. It's, man, just completely story driven, really difficult to play, but the story, especially once you crank up that difficulty, it's tough. It's a lot of these zombies in it, or I should say cordyceps drones, or whatever you want to call them, are like one-touch kills type of things. And the music's great, and just watching this and the way that it moves around makes me so excited for that installment of The Last of Us. That was
Well, Naughty Dog is just top notch. The things they touch are really special. They know how to tell a story. They know how to animate some faces. Not throwing shade at anything else that I'm playing currently, but they definitely have some skills in that department. And Last of Us 2 shown at, what was that, E3 last year or PSX?
Yeah.
But regardless, that should be coming in the next couple years. They usually don't rush those games out, so it's cool to see you jumping into Uncharted and getting that Naughty Dog love.
Yeah, man, just digging for ancient idols and ruins, scratching that Indiana Jones itch that I think a lot of fellas my age grew up with. And that's funny that you mentioned about like facial animations, because that's one thing after seeing all the Mass Effect footage and waiting myself to get my playthrough on Mass Effect. I was paying extra close attention to the acting, and just the mocap on this is great and enhances it. He's walking around, like, even his little, like, I don't get it why these characters, they walk around and they have this, like, I guess, internal monologue where they're talking to themselves, like, I guess you need to do this, or I guess I need to do this, but their mouths still move, so I'm like, why are you saying this out loud? You're by yourself.
Yeah.
But it still looks pretty realistic. The mouths, like, match up almost exactly. And even in the tutorial, because I gotta tell you boys, this is going on forever. This is like watching a TV show. Like, when am I gonna get to play? It's kind of an exaggeration. I've had some, they kind of weave it in and out with the cutscenes, but some really exciting, fun to look at stuff. But I mean, so far I've sat down with this game in my free time to get it started, and in the game I've had to hang out with my girlfriend and eat dinner and then go to work. in in cutscene mode.
Oh,
And I'm just
man.
like, man, this is so ironic. I'm trying to unwind here,
Yeah.
but I'm watching an hour of this dude living a regular life. Like, when are we gonna get to some giant rolling boulders and some pirates and stuff? But
Was it?
No, I
Was
want to be
it?
swinging from tree to tree, all nimbly bimbly.
yeah,
Was it? Was it kind of like the opening to Phantom Pain? Because that's how I felt when I
Yeah,
when I first.
not as bad? Not
Yeah.
as. I mean, I don't want to say bad, but I mean, as far as just really underestimating how long you're going to be sitting
Yeah, before you can even
actually
play.
play this.
Yeah.
No, it's not that brutal.
Yeah.
And it's not like it wasn't fun in the meantime.
Right.
The climbing puzzles are. It's not just another thing. It's not just another game where you climb stuff or run around things. There's a lot more thought put into it. It's real challenging. And I got to play the first level, which I know it as the demo for Crash Bandicoot, because your wife in the game owns a PSX.
Oh.
Yeah, not, or is it the PS1, the little tiny one? I can't recall the shape of it right off the bat, but there is a difference. And
Mm-hmm.
they challenge each other to play it. It's not spoiling because it's in like the first whatever of the game, and it's the first level of Crash Bandicoot, the Naughty Dog game from forever ago
Yeah.
on the old PlayStation.
How did that feel to play again?
Just ready for the game to start. Just trying to get into the tutorial. But,
Not the
know,
game you
that's-
bought.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, I'm not poo-pooing it. It's all good.
Well,
But
just
hopefully more
the-
next week for you.
Have you now Uncharted 4 has like multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
Have you checked that out at all?
No, not at all. It's It's super intimidating because I got it. It was the bundle that was given to me, so it came with it, and there's already hella DLC released for it for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
And stuff. I
What
just
kind
haven't-
of multiplayer? Like
I'm
PvP?
sure just running around and shooting people with the in-game mechanics. I'm sure. I mean, I say that, and I could be full of it. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Whoever's listening, I probably should be more informed. I've been kind of leaning away from multiplayer lately, in a sense, because do y'all get like mad at games?
Yeah. I
No,
play Overwatch, dude.
Not really.
Yeah.
I gotta take
Yeah, so-
breathers.
Yeah, man. So, in a bit of a breather. I kind of like those solo experiences, or like Dark Souls with old Crow over here. That's a lot of fun.
Have you the Ring City? You finished that up the last time we talked, Brent. Did you get to play around with that at all, or saving it?
Yeah. I finished all of the bosses. I mean, there's only one optional one in it. I finally beat
Oh yeah, so
him.
kind of finished it all up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've collected everything that I could, and yeah, I've just kind of put my own lore together in my head with going through the items, and then just go back and watching some of the cutscenes, which I mean doesn't give you much, but yeah, I've kind of like put my own lore and everything together. I haven't turned it back on this week just because I've been so busy.
Fire fades.
Yeah.
So rad.
Jacob, you know what I think about the ending and the
I sure
future
do.
of these games. Is that spoilery, or do you think I can go into that right here?
We'll talk about it at closing time.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. Yeah,
Deal?
yeah, sure.
Deal, because I did like a theory that you have, enough so that I know we talk about Dark Souls a lot here, but y'all,
Yeah.
but you know what? Fucking deal with it. Anyway, so
It's real.
yay. That's what's up. Boys, one more bit of news before we just go all out Scorpio, full Scorpio. Okay, is
Stingers up.
my Xbox is working again.
Woo!
Yeah, I know.
Hey-o.
Don't y'all love it when you have a problem and you just like sit it out?
Yeah.
And it
Yep.
does itself. Probably not a good moral to the story.
Yeah.
But so
Car-
happy. Wrote a haiku.
Ooh.
Cherry blossoms in field. Xbox works. Once again, Dark Souls.
Wow.
That whole thing was the haiku. Like
Mind blown.
I should have told you. Yeah.
Wow, Jacob, I teared up, man.
Well, fourth wall by
gorgeous.
saying in a
Syllables
haiku
on
that
point.
I'm going to write. Yeah, well, culture. I
You're
read.
so cultured, Jacob.
Now,
Yeah,
was this like a project for Persona 5 or something?
Persona 5.
Just to do some homework?
Man, Persona 5 is like alien to me, man. That game looks intense and so I don't know. I
That's
feel
like a
it's got
capital
huge
J
learning
RPG.
curve on it. I've only seen a little bit because it just came out, right?
Yeah. Well, in
literally
in the US,
just came out.
It came out in Japan, like last September or something to that nature.
Oh, so
Oh.
it's probably already got a bunch of people really being exploited through black market multiplayer sales. Then that's good to know.
Yeah.
Is it-
I bet Rosetta Stone sales went up a little bit during September.
Perhaps. We're only gonna dip our toes in that a little bit though, and come right back on to the subject that so Dark Souls is going down for real. I'll get my track my swing at the Ringed City. Yay, old
Yeah,
Ringed.
man.
I'm gonna keep doing it. Stay Ringed.
Whatever. You're offending me.
Ain't
Oh,
no
you're so
ring.
ashen.
Ashed up. All right. So, like I said, I was up at a very abnormal hour. I would say 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, only up for that if I got like a flight or court. But we saw.
Yeah.
But I'll get out of bed for the Scorpio. Scorpio. Anybody
Is
see
that a
that?
Lost Boys reference?
Thank you. I
Okay.
really thought I was going to be hung out to dry on that.
Bangarang!
Indeed. So, guys, the future is here? Question mark.
The future is now.
Question mark is the correct punctuation of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we think? Old Digital Foundry, where I need subtitles to understand what they're saying.
Oh,
that website.
what? Because they're Brits.
Yeah, I peeped game at Digital Foundry when I heard about this little video they were doing when they were going to go over to the Microsoft camp and
Yeah.
take her apart. And I looked at it, I'm like, this is like reading mathematics in another language.
Yeah.
Teaching. Wait, anyway, don't understand this computer jargon too deep, but I just shinies, lots of shinies apparently.
Yeah, so this week, Microsoft invited Digital Foundry, which is kind of like an independent website. I think they're kind of with Eurogamer, if I'm not mistaken. But they invited them to come see the Xbox Scorpio in action and kind of reveal its technical specs. You know, they didn't get into price. They didn't give it a name or show what it looks like or anything like that. But they did kind of put out all the important techs with, its CPU and memory and, kind of what's under the hood. So it was kind of exciting to get that out of the way. And all things considered, it looks like a really, really powerful machine.
Very.
Really powerful, but comparable to a PC these days. Because why? What angle? I mean, I understand that their hand may have been pushed. This is only my theory, but their hand may have been pushed with the news of the PS4 Pro a few months back, and so they maybe in this market that they're in right now, where it seems like a new console every year, they're like forced to respond, and it's like they're just blowing them out of the water.
Well, see, I think the exact opposite of that, but I mean, maybe I was just not informed, but I heard about the Scorpio, the new Xbox, the more powerful Xbox One, well before I ever heard about a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Isn't that how? Right. So I feel like the PS4 Pro was a response to the announcement of the Scorpio. Then they, tossed together a PS4 Pro, sent it out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's
To-
kind of what
yeah.
I think too.
Yeah.
Because what it looks like is, with Microsoft pushing this Project Scorpio, is it seems like they were just kind of sick of sitting in second place. PS4 is definitely outsold the Xbox One this
Yeah.
generation.
Dominating.
Almost
Yeah.
double. And the last generation with the 360 versus the PS3, 360 was on top, miles ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were just kind of sick of sitting in second place. They want to come out, they want to say that they have the most powerful console in the world, and the tech specs of this Project Scorpio, it definitely is the answer. It is the most powerful. It seems like they're aiming at 4K gaming, and leaving a lot of room under the hood for potentially other things, like people are talking about VR and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's primed for like a good 3 to 5 years of technologies development through VR, and more demand as far as what a game would need to process, how big they can be. I mean, as a layman, that's what I see. Like this, I don't get it. I don't have a PC. I understand PC and such, but the way this Digital Foundry, these tech-heavy fellas, and in a conversation that we had about it when all this commotion was still going on, Eagle, you had made a comment saying that these guys had skewered the one when it first came out.
Yeah.
And they're going to them this time around for this unboxing, quote unquote, pardon the pun. They're not. It's not a kid's feel. It's not a family feel for this. It seems to me they're definitely trying to appeal to adults. With a great interview with Phil Spencer that we heard on, was it Podcast Unlocked, Eagle?
Yeah, from IGN, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a great interview with him, and Mr. Spencer was very on it about saying premium is the language he wanted to use. It's a premium console that is available.
Well, I think one of the other interesting points that Phil made, I think it might have been in that same interview, maybe somewhere else, but he said Xbox fully plans to sell more Xbox One S's than they do Project Scorpios next year.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, this is aimed towards a small sect. This is for the hardcore. This is for the guy who wants the best, who's not really worried about saving a penny here and there. It's not built for that. They've got other options for that. This is the this is the Ferrari. This is the Lamborghini. This is the not messing around kind of console. So. And
another inch on the yardstick, maybe.
Yeah,
so
and I think it's this is a weird time because we haven't really seen console manufacturers do this. Pushing out these iterative consoles like this. Closer to what like cell phones and stuff do, and laptops.
I mean, can you blame them? Because how big is the pie to be had? I mean, with all this, it is almost like a new console a year. And amongst all this, 2 points that I want to make real quick. Can you blame them? Because they're getting a response from what seems like, is it them, or is there like an addiction for this kind of technology right now that the public has, or maybe an addiction to keeping up with it? Because they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't think that people wouldn't be going out and scooping that up.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Is it us or is it them? Like, are we just that hungry for this stuff?
Well, it's both. It's just... Like with everyone, you always want the new cell phone, or, if the new console does come out, you want the new console, you want a new car, you want, whatever it is, especially when it comes to technology, people always want the newest and the brightest and the best. But at the same exact time, again, like Microsoft has put out 3 Xbox Ones, essentially, since the Xbox One has been out. That's a console a year. I guess Scorpio will be 3. And
that'll be the third iteration of it. Yeah.
The thing, like, when I realized this, and I keep seeing these new, iterations of these Xboxes, I got upset because I was like, okay, this feels like a money grab to me because they know people will continue buying them. Or are we in between Sony and Microsoft going head to head, trying to sell more units, make this little tweak so it sells this much more? Or like, is this Scorpio, is this really something they're like, we're making this for serious gamers because we do care about them, or is it for the gaming community? That's where I'm I'm like confused, I'm upset, but happy, and then just kind of confused all at the same time about it.
Well, here, fella, let me play Dr. Phil for you for a minute and calm you down with all your wild emotions.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
out of
I
control.
understand what you're saying, but, it's okay to be confused because... I mean, all this news, press release, videos, all this talk, there's they're going so fast. They're still calling it Project Scorpio.
Yeah, it doesn't even have a name yet.
Like, why don't
Yes,
you
they are.
have a like? They have written out. They have paid designers to write in fancy font the words Project Scorpio in like Back to the Future Metal Gear letters.
Right.
And it's not called Xbox anything. It's like how they're going so fast, you know, so I can understand it. Sorry for my voice cracking there. But they're going so quickly.
You're growing up so fast.
I know, man. Yeah. You know,
Well-
I can dunk now. Isn't that crazy, Dad? I can dunk now. You can't guard me.
Well, so another thing that, you know, kind of an angle that I see Project Scorpio as is, you know, if you look at the past year Microsoft's had, you know, they've canceled Scalebound. You know, Crackdown 3 has kind of vanished from, you know, the public, you know, whether that's good or bad, who knows. You know, they don't really have this huge, strong lineup of exclusives like Sony's been rolling out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to wonder if, you know, this is completely hypothetical, just, you know, something that, you know, just thinking about is, you know, are they sitting at Rockstar talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 and, you know, Rockstar is saying, well, you know, the PS4 can do so much more than the Xbox can. You know, we're gonna go first with them with DLC. You know, we're gonna put, you know, stuff like that. You know, is it Microsoft's engineering guys going, hey, we can do better. We can, you know, let these developers stretch their legs a little bit and, you know, push a little harder.
Yeah.
You know,
And having this like holy shit amount of technology in their new machine, they could probably also be attractive to multiple installment IPs.
yeah,
You know,
totally.
Games that can progress and evolve over the course of, you know, maybe 3 installments over 6 years.
Yeah.
And still push it and have this console show great new features with every, you know.
Yeah, you know, like
Mhm.
something like Destiny's original plan a few years ago of having a 10-year platform that just evolves and evolves. You know, having, you know, a platform like the Xbox ecosystem in which everything is kind of backwards compatible now, no matter what equipment you have. Is that, you know, giving somebody like Bungie say, hey, you know, we made the Xbox Scorpio, you know, let's do a bigger raid, you know, let's do more.
Yeah.
You know, that, you know, that
It's-
kind of stuff is cool. It's interesting.
I could imagine it's easy to get caught up because you look at these new features, internet, television, virtual reality. Feel like they're all looking at consoles right now to see where things are going to go. Like TVs are pushing up their resolution and abilities, which is automatically prompting consoles to be able to utilize, you know, the bang out of people's buck. You know, they're going to buy this TV, so the console's better. It's like they're all connected. Internet's getting faster, bigger packages for the home. You have enough power now to run your game and stream and record and manage all these things, hopefully without a hiccup. But there's one thing that kind of bothers me is that this whole package here, and you can disagree with me if you want, it's just pulling her out of my butt here because I don't understand too deeply computer components, but with it not being a solid state hard drive, all right, with it just being a regular one, to me that says they're already planning on releasing a slim version next year. That's solid state.
Well,
you
I
know,
mean, if
like,
you look at-
like they're leaving that last box to check. You know,
I think like there's things that it looks like they might be, you know, saving money on as well, though, because, you know, solid state gives you, you know, better loading times and a little bit more reliability, but the cost on those are much higher than, you know, your standard 2.5-inch drives that we use.
ship it with no controller.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I
But
got
what if-
10 here.
What if it is shipped with an Elite controller, or a Scorpio Elite controller?
Lucky.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
I mean,
surprised to
if
see
it's-
a refreshed Scorpio.
I mean,
And
if
everybody can get in the Elite Clubhouse.
if
I
it's
don't know
if it's a
about that.
if it's a premium console, why wouldn't they have a premium controller? And obviously,
That would be
the Elite
sick.
is a premium controller in comparison, right?
Worth every
Totally.
penny, y'all.
Yeah.
Worth every penny. I love mine.
But yeah, to touch back onto what you're just saying, Jacob, I'm pretty sure that the actual chipset that they have in there is almost going to be responsible for SSD loading times. They were saying that the games are going to be loading very, very fast with They the what is it called? Silica or silicone?
Yeah,
Wha-
actually, like on the chip, apparently, some of the, the big breakthroughs that Microsoft's had with Scorpio is that, they've found these bottlenecks in which, Brent was saying in their silicone in the chip that, they're able to redesign a little bit. And, if you can open
More-
up those bottlenecks, you can really push the
predictable.
hardware. Yeah.
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 And you can push a lot more information faster.
How hot do you think that gets?
Yeah.
What
I'm
the-
sure cooling is a big thing there.
Well,
Like, it's not like the Xbox could just pop that shirt off.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
and be
I
good.
I closed my door 35 minutes ago, and my PC is already heating this room up, probably at least 5 degrees.
Well, you know what I read? Hey, Scorpio, you vape, bro? Damn, bro, you vape? This is
Bundle
how
of
it's
E
keeping
juice.
cool. How does, amongst all these Chinese guys, what is vapor chamber coolant?
Well,
Vapor chamber?
Vapor chamber. That's
yeah.
how this thing is staying cooled down, bruh.
Yeah, there's no actual intake vents on the top of it. It's going to be using like a vapor chamber. How on a lot of really high-end PC graphics cards have these in the graphics cards instead of just like 3 massive fans that's
Mhm.
Only
blowing
a
into a
rear
heatsink.
exhaust vent on this thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should keep it nice and quiet.
Yeah, which is it's basically just like a fan that is surrounded by the heat sink instead of like slapped onto like a square heat sink. It's a circular one, and so that'll be cooling down everything. Which I really want to see that taken apart, just to see what they did and how innovative it is. Just because it I mean the technology's
kryptonite
out
or
there.
Something like what?
Yeah, maybe it's probably rub some crystals on there.
Just
you know,
crystals,
bit
with a
of-
capital C.
Yeah,
Crystals,
maybe a
bro.
bit of fairy dust. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
don't worry about the crystals, bro. Just
but this thing looks
Dude, don't forget the crystals. You saw what happened to Napoleon's Uncle Rico. Don't forget the crystals.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, this whole cooling system. It
and no
looks
matter what,
very
Eagle, don't
large.
let Brent talk. Okay, so
Yeah,
go ahead.
sorry. No, yeah, last
couldn't-
thing.
I couldn't
Sorry.
help myself.
It's just it's a massive cooling system on this thing. It's like bigger than the DVD drive and the hard drive. So I want to see if it's gonna get loud at all. I'm sure it won't. But seriously,
Brent,
it's
when we were
huge.
taking a look at the specs before the show, weren't you telling me that the actual components of it make up 3% of the overall material of this card?
Oh,
begin with?
no. I was just saying graphics cards in and of themselves. Like the actual chip of a graphics card makes up 5% of a graphics card. The rest of it is just fans and heat sinks.
Oh, the overall
Yeah,
weight.
trying to keep it alive as it does its thing.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
literally it's built to basically melt, and then the rest of it is to just try to combat it killing itself pretty much.
That's what happens when you live fast, man.
Yeah.
And it's got 12 gigabytes of DDR5. That's the one where you stomp on the arrows, and it's like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
ranking.
guys?
A lot of
See, I know
neckbeards at their local
computers.
malls trying to lose weight doing DDR. Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Well, hey, more power to them, bud.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good for
That
them.
game was so you can play DDR on it. Is that what that means?
Don't you lie.
That's,
Don't you lie to these people.
Well, I don't know.
What?
Is there? I'm sure there's a
Well, yeah.
DDR platform out there or
Well,
game out there somewhere.
well, what is
for-
DDR5? I mean, it's telling me it has Dance Dance Revolution 5 in the memory. Am I reading that wrong?
You're reading that
I'm
wrong.
just kidding.
Only
We're
slightly.
talking about RAM.
That's way wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
I get
it's
it,
kind of
boys.
like a big goat with big horns on the front of it, and they hit each other and play.
RAM.
Big
Got
goat
it.
herd. Well, tell me about RAM, boys.
Well, DDR5
How significant is 12 gigs of DDR5 in the Project Scorpio? What does that mean?
I mean, DDR5 just came out last year? Eagle, do you know? Because
Yeah,
we
it's
were using
definitely the
DDR4
new-
before.
The new hotness as far as the RAM goes,
Mhm.
which just to put it into perspective, The new PS4 Pro has 8 gigs, and they did switch over to that GDDR5 RAM. And the Xbox One had 8 gigs of DDR3, the previous standard.
Yeah.
But they did use a supplemental ESRAM, like a small bit. But it seems as though this new architecture that they've built, the 12 gigs of the standard DDR5 RAM will serve them better. It looks like the memory bandwidth is much higher than it was, almost double.
Man,
Yeah. Yep.
Just like Bugatti fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
No. Like Tesla fast.
Ooh, like up and running right then fast.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy, actually.
Yeah. They're quick.
But so to put this into perspective a little bit, the Digital Foundry guys, when they saw this in action, the demo that they were shown was running Forza tech, which is kind of like the engine for Forza, and it was running that at 4K, 60 frames a second.
Astonishing.
And the GPU usage was around 60%. And that's with added dynamic weather. They were drawing in cars before the screen could actually see them, just to show off how much horsepower this thing has.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they were playing it. It wasn't just a video, right? Let's make
Yeah.
that clear to folks that haven't seen this.
Yeah, it was live rendering. Yeah, this thing was kicking butt.
It was funny. They just seemed legitimately shocked at the performance that they were seeing from this thing.
So this thing just clicks onto the back of your Xbox One, right? Right?
Yeah, it's $20.
Yeah.
So
USB.
how much is this gonna cost if we're gonna buy? Nobody wants to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
It
Well,
could go anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
How much
Where
is this stuff
where
worth?
it can go is up.
Yeah, that's yeah,
You know.
that's very true.
Is
I
it
mean-
a sum of its parts thing? Do they go competitive pricing? Do they try to be?
Well,
I'm-
see, that's the only thing where I feel like I shouldn't say anything because I don't know for sure. I'm assuming, these are all customized parts from Microsoft for the most part. Maybe not the hard drive. I would assume that's not. But, I mean, what the Scorpio is capable of in the specs that they've put out, at least from a graphics card, to get the same kind of specs, you're looking at a GTX 1070 or even a GTX 1080. And I mean, the 1070 is $370. Let's just call it it's $400 alone, or the 1080 is $520. So I can't see even if it's the GTX 1070, I can't see it being only $400 because that's pretty much $400 just for that graphics card. And I'm sure they've put in a lot of research and development into making all of this stuff work together. And so really that graphics card would be more than $400. So
$500 was the launch price of the one, right?
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean the PS4 Pro is $400 right now still, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I feel like it's definitely going to be more expensive than the PS4 Pro. I mean it has to be. I mean with the technology that's in this thing, $700 wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. I mean, there is a good slice of me that thinks, would Microsoft potentially sell this hardware at somewhat of a loss or like a break-even part, just to get them out in the wild, earn some of that market share back, and see if they can make it back with the software, because they haven't really said much about software coming for this. The only confirmed game we have, funny enough, that's coming to Scorpio is Middle Earth, Shadow of War, of all games.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
only one that I've heard of thus far.
Yep.
Yeah, confirmed at least. There's a lot of games coming out at the end of this year, fall time, that we'd suspect would have PS4 Pro capabilities, as well as hopefully something for Scorpio. But yeah, you got to wonder if they're gonna take a loss. Would they sell it at $500, take $100 loss on each unit, and just hope people buy their first party games?
With the whole Windows 10 hook that they're doing. Sorry to cut you off, Brent, but
You're right.
with the whole Windows 10 hook that they have going, where it's they're essentially the same, the Xbox and the PC that run that. I wonder if they're saving money on like an entire department for it having to be the whole thing? Like, is there some way they're coming ahead? Did they build something in a new way? You know?
I mean, they're a massive company. There's no
Yeah.
telling. Money's not a big issue for them. Currently. So, the research and development that they can do to this kind of stuff. Who knows what they can cook up with these custom chips and custom GPUs they're getting.
Well, ballpark it, boys. What do you think as far as price? Like, do you have a what you think and what you'll tolerate? Sorry to put you on the spot,
Sure.
but you didn't come up with that?
No, sure. That's fair. What I think, 650 somehow would be the very lowest that I could imagine this thing. 850 probably the highest. I tolerate none of that because I just bought an Xbox One and I don't want to drop another $600, $700, $800 on a console that has 0 games behind it. I mean, they said, even you can pop your Xbox One and some 360 games into this thing. And one of the good things is they said, every game that goes into this, it will look better. It'll be noticeable just because of the custom chipset they have in this thing. Render distances will be better. The games are going to look better regardless. Is that worth it to me right now? Absolutely not. So I tolerate none of it. But, I mean... I'm very cynical of this thing, but it does get me really excited because I think.
Well, I mean, it harkens back to the Switch episode too. We were just as skeptical with that.
Yeah.
It's a new thing. No games really planned except for one heavy hitter and a new approach to hardware.
Yeah.
So to be fair, remember we still are fancy folk.
Yeah.
To everybody
Fancy.
listening out there.
Fancy on the fences.
Folk. Yep.
You see, I tend to skew a little bit lower than you, Brent. I'm in the. I think it's going to come out at the 500 to 600 range. They're gonna make that work. And because I think if they get up towards the 600 to 700, anything higher than that, you've got someone like me who's going to stick with Xbox through thick and thin. Just a little bit of brand loyalty there. But when you start pushing me up to that $700 range in there. I'm just going to build a PC because all the Xbox One titles coming out now are Play Anywhere supported, so I can play them on my Windows PC anyways, and I get Steam, and I get good old games, and I get itch, that Xbox, doesn't allow me to get at currently. I'm locked into their ecosystem, so I think they need to be real careful with the price of something like this, but, to argue my own point, they do have the regular Xbox One. They've got the Xbox One S that's what, like $250, $300. There's a cheap way to get in there. So I don't know. What do you think, Jake? What do you?
Yeah.
I have the number $650 flashing in my head over and over again. What that means? Am I psychic? Maybe.
Did it come to you in a dream?
But I'm going all gut. I'm using the force. I'm going to say 650. Tolerable is 450. It's obvious I'm not the kind of customer that Xbox is looking for its Scorpio project. I'm going to be upfront with that. Yeah. I love the culture. I love video games and all that stuff, but I don't have the drive to really be at the cutting edge of it anymore. And I don't need to push it like that. I'm not a fan of VR. I already know I'm not going to be really into that, and I just don't think I'm going to need this.
Hey, here's a solid question that I don't think a lot of people are asking about this. Do you guys own a 4K display?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big kicker in this, man.
But nah.
All right. Me neither. I mean, they're coming more and more cheap every year, but, people are going to plug it in. Wait, this doesn't look any different. Well, that's because your TV is not 4K. It's 720p. So, and
it's a tech argument that's going to come up, every cycle with TVs. We had the same arguments when 1080 was coming, and it's like, well, I don't need 1080p. That's a lot. It's crazy. Like that's for the technophile that's buying a new TV every year.
Yeah.
But it does seem like 4K is the new standard. So.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt because when I bought my new TV that I got out in the living room, I could have bought a 4K one for like $50 more. I was like,
Oh.
I got a 360. It's all right. I got my computer monitors in the other room. I don't have a Blu-ray player. I don't have any 4K DVDs or Blu-rays. And then now I'm like, yeah, probably should have.
Well, I don't think that feeling is ever going to go away with the climate of today's technology
Yeah.
and the rate that it's coming out and just the game we
Yeah.
all play. Super meta.
But I am interested to see what listeners might think. What would be a price that you guys are capping out at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of listeners too, we're coming in close. I know that doesn't really make sense time continuity wise to be mentioning our progress, but as just a marker to ourselves as we listen to our older episodes and continue with the show, we're closing in on having our website started, which means that we're going to be posting through that and probably having a sample on SoundCloud. If you find us, please tell a friend. All the help we can get as we bring this stuff to you. Did you guys hear that? Somebody just hollered out last call. Y'all still thirsty? Y'all still want anything?
I
Want
just
the road?
just finished mine.
Yeah,
I need some more mixed nuts.
Take a water.
People keep running into me on their way to the door. You know what that means? It's closing time. Bartender's looking kind of pissed. They gotta
Semisonic still touring. I love it.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Scorpio. All right. Everybody get out of here. Get on out of here. You'll have to go home, but you can't stay here. Anyway. So, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to go into our special spoiler section and where we get to say all the naughty things. And again, tell a friend. Tell us what you think when you hear this about upcoming Scorpio news, what games you may be playing. And I don't know about you guys, but I wish these fine folks a nice day. Gonna catch them next time.
Yeah,
huh?
and it is a nice day out.
Yeah.
I hope
Get
they
outside.
have the best day they've ever had.
Yeah.
Best day ever.
The best day they've ever had.
Today.
Hey guys, I got done listening to your podcast, and I legitimately had the best day of my life. Like,
I
you guys
realized
called it.
today was the day, and I finally opened up my homemade origami statue stand.
Oh my
and
bet you wish you would have showered this morning, huh? It was gonna be the
Living the
best day of
dream.
your life.
living the dream, man, living the dream. So thank you, listeners. You make us happy, and stay embered. And we're gonna lock the door and go into spoilers.
Keep
All
them
right, let
high,
me
keep
slip
them
into
tight.
Something a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
And they're gone. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, guys?
I thought
don't know,
they'd never
dude.
leave.
How you guys
Man.
doing?
I like people and stuff, but I also like when I can just chill out.
Yeah, they
when
get
it's
really
all-
annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, click the stop button. Right, we're not actually
Yeah.
recording this spoiler
No,
section
no,
for the
dude,
people
my
to
hand
listen
is
to.
in my pants, and I got forensic files up on the TV. I'm
Yeah.
set for the night.
Wait, no, I'm for sure still recording this.
Okay, all right.
I'm
They'll get that one track from you in Ohio. Get weird.
just,
So, Eagle, you got cut off last week because of our technical difficulties.
Show did.
Let's talk about some Mass Effect, bud.
Yeah, man.
Let's get on into it.
It's been getting a little
Oh,
saucy.
wait.
So,
I have one spoiler real quick. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
Earlier, that was not a haiku. That was me speaking
Oh!
deliberately to sound that way. So, spoiler alert. All right, I'm done.
I had faith that you had actually sat down, counted syllables, got your stanza in order.
Hey, bud, my best friends call me Cash. You got you
Cash
gotta
me
learn to roll.
outside.
You gotta roll with it, bud. You gotta sell it. You gotta fake it till you make it.
I thought it
real.
was beautiful.
Walk it like you talk it.
That was
Be about
free,
what
right?
you shout.
When in Rome.
Yeah. Anyway, Mass Effect. Continue.
How you
Mass Effect. Which can I have a little bit of honesty real quick with you guys?
doing? Ooh, yeah.
I have no clue what Mass Effect means. Like the name.
I
It's-
always thought it had to do with like the effect overall of your decision making.
Yeah, because isn't
Like
like
a massive effect.
yeah, like everything you do is gonna have a massive effect on like the world, right? Because aren't you like trying to save the world? At least in the
So-
beginning, first three.
What?
I
Jacob.
always thought it was about church. What?
I thought it was about planes.
A Higgs boson walks into a church, and the
Oh.
priest is like, Higgs boson, what are you doing here? Higgs boson's like, you can't have mass without me.
Badance. Got him.
So it seems like the mass effect is the pseudo-scientific principle behind most of the technologies in the series. For instance, the quote-unquote mass relays allow faster-than-light travel by exploiting the quote-unquote mass effect. So it seems like a scientific thing.
Okay.
All right, so back to the
That
real
or-
world.
that
Sorry,
or you need
listener, if
pack
you
a
had
bowl
to endure
first or
that.
something, but heard. Gotcha. I'm with it.
So yeah, I don't want to spoil any like big plot points or anything, but I did have this crazy side mission I went on that I'd love to just talk to you guys about.
Talk?
So I'm on this crazy ice planet, very similar to like Hoth or something from Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's all ice. And, the way Mass Effect's set up is it's a big open world that you just kind of explore. And, you got waypoints all over the map for your missions and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think I heard gunfire like in a cave as I'm driving by. No mission marker, nothing like that. I kind of pull off. There's like a battle going on between some people. And it turns into this big side mission that Mass Effect is really cool at doing this. Just this emergent, missions that you just find yourself in. I love that. I haven't
cool.
really played a game that does that very well, so it's cool to experience that. But so long story short, I find myself, kind of down in the bowels of this cave, and we come across an ancient AI like trapped in the ice. And it's like, what? So it's really weird, but so my character Ryder has an AI implanted in his head, that's top level, real smart type of thing.
Oh, there used to be booty calls. Please tell me there used to be booty calls.
It'd be nice.
Send each other in.
But so conversation ensues with this ancient AI, and it seems to have been created by the Angara, one of the new alien species that you stumble across in Andromeda. And basically it kind of takes one of the Angara people that you're with hostage, like in an electrical field type of thing. And you've got to determine whether or not to save this ancient AI that could have secrets about their civilization and stuff, or, save this one dude's life who's trapped by the AI. And, as you're kind of figuring things out, the AI says, I'm almost dead. I'm almost out of power. Please save me. And your AI is quipping back that, hey, she's lying. She's connected to a huge power grid beneath us. Don't trust this AI at all. So, conversation just goes on. I mean, I spent like 45 minutes down there, hashing this out. And ended up killing the dude, saving the AI, and bringing it back to her creators, the Angara.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So let me just inform you that 20 hours later in the story, I come across this AI again in her new home. And she is pissed.
Oh. About?
So pissed. She won't tell them anything. She's like in complete lockdown mode. It's
You
suicidal.
You never texted me. Nothing.
Dude, it's crazy. Crazy.
Nothing. I thought it was because I was ugly.
Well, I mean, that has a little to do with it. It's not, it's just that.
More to do with the bourbon, maybe.
Yeah, and just,
Rough.
Anyway, continue.
No, but so I took a few clips on the Xbox. If you want to check them out of her like talking to you, because you can go up and interact with her, and you're like, how you doing? She's like, I hope you die.
So what?
All right.
That's pretty
How do you
forward.
like your new home? And she's like, these people are all idiots. And it's like, all right.
Oh, wow.
So she's a great character that literally it's one of the most interesting side quests I've been on, and it's not even listed. You just have to stumble across it in a cave.
Yeah.
I
So-
can't wait for my run through.
I don't get that though. So like if they, the ancient whatever race built this AI, why are all the people now that you brought the AI back to, why do they think they're dumb?
Well, so the AI is her stance and everything is that they didn't create her, is that she's much older than their species is. And the Angara say that they created her. So you don't know.
Like
she could,
like the pyramids, right? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up.
No,
Yes.
well, so to use an
just
example
like
of
the
that,
pyramids.
it's like if the pyramid could talk and, they said that the Egyptians didn't build them, and you say, fuck you, I'm taking you back to the Egyptians anyways.
Yeah. So do you regret your decision?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still up in the air about it because I did kill a guy.
Eagle. I don't know. I've been getting messages in my DM from this AI asking if I knew where you were, or if I was chilling with you at the moment.
I'm at the ketchup factory, bruh.
Do you know this? Seriously, it blew me up looking for you. Do you know who this person is? It's she's 5'5", has a flashlight for a face with a red dot. Pictures of you, it's clearly you photoshopped in there with her. But
yeah, totally.
Anyway, just thought I should let you know.
Her name's Watson. Yeah.
First name's please talk. Last name's to me.
No, but I mean it's crazy, man. It's a really cool game. Every day I play a little bit more, it hooks me in a little bit more. I'm so excited to see what happens.
Yeah, nice. That does sound like a pretty sweet thing to just kind of stumble upon naturally in the game.
That's one of the things I love so much about that Far Cry game. I know that's obscure, but it's kind of the same thing. You're going around doing your missions, and then you'll just come across a cave entrance. It's not on your map. You go inside, and it's dun dun, title card. Whole new cool thing to do. And it's just from stumbling upon it. You can't find it unless you explore.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is awesome. And I don't know if you guys can keep a secret, but I banged my first alien.
What?
Whoa.
But no way. No.
Dude, I did it.
He's lying.
Oh my goodness.
In 0G.
What?
It
A
was
little piece
crazy.
of rabbit fur you call your girlfriend.
Some good banging.
Good banging, bud.
Did you call her back?
Bro, before we even got started, she looked me right in the eyes and goes, now remember, this is a no strings type of thing. I don't know how long I'm going to stay around. You're like,
It's
I
like
got you,
flashlight
girl.
You're
face banging on the door the whole time, Scar!
I was expecting Ryder to turn around and wink at me. Yeah.
You're like, oh,
right on.
Oh, really? That kind of bums me out, but I guess I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Did y'all share a dirty space cigarette
Afterwards? Yeah.
Man, I wish.
It's you blow out. It's just molecules and hexagons of smoke.
Yes.
Space
There
cigarettes.
was this kind of drone kind of sitting outside the door who was kind of looking over his shoulder. Sorry, bro. Should have powered you down.
Peeping Tom? Oh, like your dog, kind of.
It was a
I don't know, man. Go put on Netflix in the living room for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
Or is it? Or wait, are you talking voyeur robots?
No.
Voyeurist
I
robots?
hope not. He's
Robot
my turret,
in a
man.
closet, single tier.
I loved her.
This is like the
weird in
R.
space.
Kelly in the Closet album as sung by a digital android. I'm in the closet. And
Is this gonna creep it?
Cyborg R. Kelly, dude. He's the hook man for Biddy Smalls. For Bit Papa.
Bit Papa.
I know that I'm just an android and my operating system is Android. Dude, it's fire.
Someone needs to sell this guy's OS chip.
Wow.
Can I get that bleep bleep? Can I get that blurp blurp? I can keep going, boys.
Banging it.
Yeah, I know you can.
Yeah, you can.
I'm a lyrical
I have moved out of the
wordsmith,
way.
voice of a generation. So I'm going to stop spoiling y'all's spoilers. That sounds like a lot of fun, and I can't wait for my turn at Mass Effect.
Yeah, hop
I'm
in
gonna
there
have
for
to
sure.
bang
I'm excited
some
for you.
aliens.
Speaking of spoilers, we talked a little bit about Ringed City earlier, and I know Dark Souls comes up a lot. But yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Brent and I had about that. Brent and I had a conversation about the ending of the DLC, and again, we couldn't get to it last episode. Man, let's hash that through again.
Okay, so for everyone in Eagle, I don't know how familiar you are with the games, but basically in the first one, you go into the painted world. Pretty much same thing happens in the third one in the first DLC. You go through it. You find a little girl somewhere in the painted world, and she's trying to make a painting of a new world, or at least she says. What's the quote, Jacob? A cold. What is it?
Cold, peaceful. I think it said friendly.
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm a little on the spot about that. I didn't know I'd have to remember the quote.
Oh, sorry. I don't.
But it's
Yeah,
to
no,
that tune.
I think you're right. Yeah, like cold, friendly, or peaceful kind of place like that.
Cold but peaceful, and the cold and dark but friendly and peaceful. Or
Yeah, something along those lines. And I didn't really think anything of it. I run through that DLC, and then I come to the Ring City, go through it, and basically at the end of it, you get the essence of the Dark Soul. And I kind of like beat the ending, beat the last boss, and like I get this, but then I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with it. And then I find out that you can go give it to the little girl from the first DLC, and then she says she can now finish her painting. And my thing is, like they said, they're not gonna make another Dark Souls game, but they are working on something that they're very excited about. So my thought is that painting, whatever she does make, is going to be of a new world, and it's going to be one of the new FromSoft's games. Which it's not going to be Dark Souls. It'll be kind of like Bloodborne, because Bloodborne's
Painted
not Dark
World
Souls.
or whatever they want to call it. But
Yeah,
that's how they continue it.
Yeah, or not even like bring up that it's a painted world, but like, at least right away, maybe somewhere along the lines. But yeah, man, that's what I think's going on, because I mean, really, I was kind of disappointed at the end of it, and then I finally went and gave the little girl the essence of the Dark Soul, so then she can use it to paint the rest of her painting with. And I was like, I was kind of bummed, but that's awesome. Like, that leaves open so many possibilities with that. You know?
I think they're all about tragedy in many different forms too, and coping with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like futility is a theme. I feel like Dark Souls 3 runs a lot.
So, yeah, I was super excited about that. I was bummed, but then I was like, you know what? No, I like this, because I
think that would be pretty cool. If it's just a Painted World series starts, and like you said, they don't even have to say it, but you just know where this place exists, even if they don't make any more reference to it than that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really cool. I maybe not that I think that's what happened. That's what my hopes are. Because why would you end it on that and just leave it there? And like literally the last thing you do in Dark Souls 3, which is going to be the last Dark Souls, is to let this little girl finish a painting when you're already in a painting. So therefore you can go into more paintings. I mean, that just seems so obvious. Like, that's what's happening, at least to me. What do you think, Eagle? Do I sound stupid? Do I sound like an idiot?
I mean, definitely, you sound informed on a subject that I am not, which makes me feel like an idiot.
Well, no, but I mean, I don't know. How does that sound to you? Sound good? Sound cool?
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Is that the correct word?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
no, I think it sounds really cool. Like, I think the sky's the limit for, what they can do with this. And I hope they don't leave it. I hope we don't get Valve treatment like Left 4 Dead or Half-Life. Hope they do something.
I know that I know there's like legal issues and stuff like that with the title, but the title itself. But what if the next game? What if that's like all done with, and the next game comes out is called Demon Souls 2? Or something that just kind of picks up from that.
Well, Miyazaki said that he's not working on another Souls game. So
okay, yeah.
But I mean, he said they're working on a few games, and neither of them are a Souls game. That's probably Bloodborne 2, and then whatever the new one is gonna be. So,
it wouldn't surprise me also if they, didn't start up like a new IP or a new universe in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm saying that they're gonna do. Because like in this painting that this little girl is making, it could, be like Bloodborne, but Dark Souls, but like kind of a completely different universe and kind of completely different like kind of physics. Bloodborne is much faster of a game, and it's kind of like the same, but they don't consider that a Dark Souls game. So I feel like they could just exactly make a new IP of just a completely new universe, but that starts out from this painting. I feel like that's what's happening here.
I
could
think
be
that's
cool.
tight. Yeah, can't wait to see what happens, man.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think we're gonna get our hands on some Bloodborne 2 first before any of this comes to fruition. But I'm excited. Like I
Hell
said,
yeah! And make sure you get your hands on Android R. Kelly's new album.
Yep.
Running all of my codes, running power through my nodes.
I'm gonna leak on you.
I'm a CPU, CPU.
Wow. just right off the top, huh, bud?
Thank you,
there.
everybody, for joining us. We
Thanks.
are obviously out of time.
And
and we're logging up the doors. Y'all stay ambered.
good night.
Have the best day you've ever had.
Ever.
Can
Tell-
I get up?